We about to dress the culture. Go tell a friend. We about to dress the culture, We about to dress the culture. Go tell a friend. We about to dress the culture, We about.
Brick by brick, you get your boy Big Wall, and this is Address the Culture. And today we here with another special guest. We got an exciting show. Yes. We got one of the queens of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? We got somebody that's, writing their names in the stars and, working their way up to the top of Mount Hip Hop in this male dominant industry. Yes. She putting up numbers. You know what I'm saying? She making her presence known, and she's making it known that she's going to be here for a while, and she's a force to be reckoned with. We got the one. We got the only. We got Dinero in the building. Welcome to Address the Culture.
Yes, sir. I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
No problem. It's dope to have you come through, man, because you one of them dope MCs. You know what I'm saying? Like you somebody that know your history. You know what I'm saying? Know what it means to really love hip hop and striving to get it, the essence of it. You know what I mean? And your story can motivate the culture, because there's a lot of females out here that's on the same thing you on, have aspirations to be what you on. And watching you is motivation for them. So I appreciate you coming through.
Definitely. I thank you for the platform, especially, just your energy towards the independent artist, the artist that's on the rise to getting in position. You know what I mean? So I definitely appreciate this platform.
Absolutely. And I appreciate that. So with all that being said, the first thing I want to know is, how did you get your name?
Oh, okay. So I graduated from Norfolk State University.
Okay.
And I was an on-air personality. I was on our college radio station. And so I got on the radio probably like my sophomore year. And so how the process worked is you were called back, and then you have to go through all these classes and this and that. And so then my last class was the choosing of our names, and we weren't allowed to choose our own names. Like pretty much the seniors, like the ones that were already on the air, like the ones that you wanted to have, they were the ones that had to choose your name. It was kind of like their varsity, you're like JV, you know what I mean? So I just remember them saying like, yo, like her style, her vibe, like she's so mature, but she's cool, but she's mature, but she's still young. She's fresh. And they're like neo soul, like that genre, neo soul. Yeah. And so someone came in and was like, man, let's just call her Nia, like Nia Soul, Nia Soul. So for a long time, that was my name. Like on campus, my name was Nia Soul. I went by Nia Soul. And then while in college, I ended up meeting my producer through a friend. And then him and I became a group. We became a duo. We were kind of like a Missy Timbo vibe. He kind of took me under his wing. Okay. And like after class, come to the studio. We about to work. After class, come to the studio. And then when we became a group, like made it official, he went by Dreams. And so we were like, yo, I was just looking at it like, why not? Like, I want to be like a superwoman. So why not give her like a first and a last name? I'm already Nia. And so then we were just thinking about like all these different names. Someone said something like, when you think of success, what do you think of? And I was like, you think of money, you think of this, you think of that. That's a fact. And so then we just came up with Dinero, you know what I mean? It just stuck. And so we were just like Nia Dinero. And so I think for me, it just kind of grew into, of course, it being more than just the money aspect. It's just the thought process on knowing that you deserve 100% of what you can have. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's just a state of mind of just knowing your worth, and just kind of, for me, just everything that I do, just delivering it with a certain type of quality and a certain type of, you know what I'm saying? A certain type of finesse, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And you know what? It fits. You know what I mean? Like, it's definitely a vibe. It stands for respect. It stands for hustle. You know what I'm saying? When you hear the name, it commands respect. You know what I'm saying? And we both know in this game as a female, you got to have that first.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Like Queen Latifah. You know what I'm saying? Like there's just certain, I feel like, and you hit it right on the nose. I feel like that's something that, you know, when you hear a Little Kim or you hear a Queen, like certain names just kind of like lets you know, okay, like they're coming with something out. They're not playing. You know, like when they come into the door, at least open the door, at least act. You know what I'm saying? It
That's
just
a fact.
demands a certain type of vibe. You know?
Yeah. That's dope. So with all that being said, who is Nia Dinero?
Who is Nia Dinero? So I will say, and this is just being as transparent. I'm a very transparent person.
I like that.
So in 2017, from 2017 to where I am now, well, I wouldn't even say from where I am now, because I feel like I now have stepped into just alignment of who I am and from a personal standpoint and a professional standpoint. But up until from like 2017, I honestly say since 2012 to 2000, probably like 18, 19, I was really trying to figure that out. You know what I mean? As a group, so me and my partner, we went our own separate ways in 2015. But up until 2015, all I knew was the group. That's all I knew. I just knew how to be Nia Dinero in a group. And so in 2015, when I had to go solo, I really just had to figure out who I was without him, you know, without my partner. And, you know, then on top of that, you know, there's a lot of things that people don't really, especially from a female's perspective, there's a lot of things, you know, there's a lot of things that aren't really discussed when it comes down to a woman choosing to pursue this career path. You usually hear the storyline of the male getting into the game, and they usually have the girlfriend, and the girlfriend's always wondering why they're not at home and da 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 da. But in this case, I'm the woman that's in the space. I'm the woman, you know, sacrificing the natural, you know, just like the natural clocks that women naturally want as a woman. You know, I'm a woman first at the end of the day. So of course, you know what I mean? So of course it's like there's just certain things that with or without music, I'm going to desire, I'm going to want, I'm going to, you know, whether it be in relationships and thinking about family and thinking about this and thinking about that. And so I really had to find out who I was and really figure out if I really wanted to do this, like really figure out if I really wanted to continue to sacrifice and you know, go through it. And so I just put myself in this space of taking a step away from music. My real name is Brittany. And so Brittany had to figure out who she was in order to come merge with Nia Dinero and just finally just be like, okay, I'm gonna take over this. You know what I'm saying? I'm in my lane and do my thing. So I would honestly say, like, now I just feel like I'm whole. You know what I'm saying? Now sky's the limit for me. Now, you know, me taking a couple years, like I think I took years. I think I took like 3 years just to work on me, to be with my family, to work on my mental, emotional health, to make sure that I was good personally. Because once again, these are things that a lot of women aren't able to really talk about when it comes down to being in this industry. Like I was going through breakups, relationships, but at the same time, still going into the studio, you know, still having to be on call for that and not really allowing myself to heal and doing all that. So just in that time, I just worked on me. So now I'm really just in the space of knowing that I am an artist. First, aside from being the woman, I am an artist. I'm an artist. And I say artist because I feel like when you just say you're a rapper or you just say you're a songwriter, it just puts you in this box. I feel like an artist, you move where you need to move. It's like that. You know what I'm saying? Like you doing what you do, you're gonna move where that vibe is for you to shine and do what's inside of you, like for that gift to shine. And so for me, like sky's the limit. Like, you know, I'm down to earth. I'm you know, I like even on Instagram, I incorporate a lot of my everyday life in my stories and everything, just to show like, like y'all gonna be able to say, like, when I do make it, like, man, she really did. She really was her. You know what I'm saying? Like, she really did just kind of give me bits and pieces of like, look, I'm gonna let you know when I got a wig on. When it's natural, you're gonna see it when it's natural. You're gonna see it when, so I'm just Nia Dinero. I'm just Nia Dinero at the end of the day.
I can dig it. I want to go somewhere with you. You kind of spoke on it. And we're gonna get to the music, of course, because it's amazing, and that's what we're gonna talk about. But as far as relationships, because you kind of spoke on that, as a female in the game, we used to seeing, like you said, we used to seeing the man in the studio working, the woman at home, he's always around women and so on and so forth. But you being a female, you in the studio with the producers, you in the club late. And when you're in a relationship with a man, things can get a little spicy when his woman is always XYZ. So you being in a female in the game and being in a relationship, how have you found that being in a relationship has affected your music career, or even has it?
I'll say this. This is okay. This is a great question. Okay, so when it comes down, these are my experiences. A lot of guys that I've met, of course, you have your friends, your male friends who just support. There's nothing, there's nothing crazy going on to where you even have to question. All you get is their support, which is always a situation. Now, when it comes down to you trying to pursue something with someone, now these are the vibes I usually get. It's usually like, okay, I'm an artist, I'm a songwriter. Oh, for real? That's dope. Okay. They just think it's just dope until they really see, like, no, I'm a real artist. Like
for real.
This is what I do. This isn't, I'm not just trying to have you play my song and whatever. Like, this is really what I do. And then once they see that this is what I do, like, I have management, I have, I'm a creative. Like, that's who I am. I am a creative. So if I'm not doing music, I'm doing something creatively. Then it's kind of like, some of them have to kind of like either figure out if they can handle it, or sometimes I have to be put in position to really say, like, can you really handle it? Like, would you be putting air into my balloon, or would you be really slowly popping that thing and kind of like deflating my vibe? And I think, like, as women, of course, we desire, like, come on, as a woman, we all desire to have someone that's really going to be there as we go through what we're going through. I think the biggest thing is, me personally, like right now I'm single, and I think the biggest thing is just me rocking with somebody, or someone rocking with me to the point to where it's like their drive matches my drive. Their move matches my move. I'm not necessarily looking for someone that's in, like, you don't have to be in the industry with me, but you have to be in a space to where you understand, you understand the journey. Like, you understand what comes with this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you understand how to, like, I'm thinking empire. I'm thinking whoever I'm with, we come together, and we literally two individuals coming together, already in our zone, already focused, we don't got to necessarily be 100% where we want to be, but we have all the pieces that with that right person, you know what I'm saying?
We're working. It's a juggernaut. Jay-Z and Beyonce, you know how it goes.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
So I would just say so to answer your question, I would just say from a woman's perspective, it's more so just a man kind of wrapping their mind around the fact, like, okay, like, this woman, I have this idea of a woman. I have this idea of what a woman does. I have this idea of how a woman should move, but I got to unravel all that because this is totally different. So do I choose to adjust to that, or do I say, nah, I don't know if I want it, because I'd rather have a woman that just wants, that would rather just be at home or have a normal 9 to 5, which is nothing wrong. But
absolutely,
that's not the situation. That's not me.
Well, shouts out to you. You know what I mean? Because you know what you want, and you know what you own. You know what I'm saying? And you allowing yourself to be that. and know that anybody that you bring in your life is going to have to understand what I do. You know what I mean? Because I've seen a lot of females in the game who has been so talented, but they allow their relationship to dictate their career. You know what I mean? Because you know how it go when a man don't want him to do X, Y, Z. A woman want to make her man happy, and she kind of miss out on her career. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to you.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not going to paint the perfect, a perfect story like I hadn't, like I haven't been in been in situations to where I tried and was.
But you have to go through it to know.
Yeah, it was involved and put my all in. I was trying to balance the relationship and balance this, and and I've even dated a producer. Like I've dated, so I've dated someone that's actually in the same game as me. And like you said, had to learn and realize like, man, like this is kind of easier said than done, because when you date someone that's doing exactly what you're doing, you really aren't talking about relationship stuff. You find yourself talking about this business all the time. And that's not really what you want in a relationship. You know what I mean? You want something that's totally, you want that outlet. You see what I'm saying? That
absolutely. That vacation, as they say.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah. So as far as mentally, because mental health is very important. You know what I mean? Different things like that can weigh in on your creative. You know what I mean? And then not only with your personal stuff, but besides the relationship and the music career, you got your mom, your dad, your friends, your family, life. Whatever else you're going through, because it's always something. So mentally, have you found yourself having to step away or do different things to maintain your mental stability?
Definitely. I think most creatives, or I'll say most creatives, I think deal with some kind of emotional health or mental health or something, whether it be anxiety, whether it be, I almost feel like it's almost like the balance between being so creative, and it's like the opposite. You see what I'm saying? It's like you have all these thoughts, all this creative, all these ideas rolling around. So it's almost like the balance of that, the opposite spectrum of that is like that moment where you just need, where you kind of feel, to answer your question, I've dealt with anxiety, or since 13, I've dealt with anxiety.
Yes, it's a real thing.
Yeah, I've dealt with anxiety since 13. It wasn't until that time period I was telling you about where I started working on myself that I was able to really pinpoint and really just know how to combat that. You know what I mean? A lot of times, especially when you are moving in this type of industry, you're moving so fast that you're not really able to identify what is going on. You just are just moving. And so, I've definitely found myself in spaces to where I've just had to kind of like step back and digress. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, I'm an empath. So empaths are just more sensitive to feelings, more sensitive to people. They just pick up a lot more energy. So where I can use that in a positive way, in a good way, whether it be, creatively or just how I connect with people, or even when you and I first spoke on the phone, I was like, man, you have just really dope energy, this and that. I think this is going to be good. The opposite of that is just me being in a space to where I might kind of step back for a second, and I might need someone else to check up on me. I think that's the biggest thing now. I feel like social media just makes it so everyone's just kind of like in their own zone and just kind of forget to step away and be like, yep, let me actually call this person.
Hear their voice. You know what I mean?
Let me hear a voice. Like, and so, I've just in that time of working on myself, coming out of it, I made it a point to, anytime I have an opportunity to be an advocate for emotional health or speak about this experience, I'm going to do it, because I was in a dark space at one point, you know what I mean? Like, to where it just all just kind of me not taking the time to work on those things, it all just kind of bottled up into 1 year. And I was just like, and it took me reaching out to people to start doing that work on myself. And I have this nonprofit that I'm working on called Pretty Girls Cry Too. And the whole platform is pretty much just it's pretty much my testament to that dark place that I was in and how I started my process and did my work to get out of it. The tools that I've used, the books that I've read, and just kind of destigmatizing the idea of work, you know, when it comes to working on yourself. A lot of us look at work like, oh, it just, but there's beauty in work, especially when you're putting that energy into the right channels. You see what I'm saying?
Seeing it's working.
It's not working. Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's a platform I definitely want to get off the ground this year. And just get more people like you and me, just different creatives, different industries to talk about that work. Because we all deal with it. We've all had some kind of, we all deal with emotional or mental health. That's
absolutely.
Just so
every day.
Absolutely. So yeah.
Shouts out to you. Super
Thank
dope.
You.
Oh man, the energy is amazing. You know what I'm saying? Because it's one thing to know, you know what I mean, but it's another thing to do and work towards fixing it and making yourself better. That's a whole different chapter. You know what I mean?
It is.
Shouts out to you.
And you know, and thank you. And you know, it's like, and I'm so happy that you asked this question because we're just in this time of self-love and self-care. And it's very easy for those things to kind of just be a trend on your thread on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Like it looks good, but at the same time, what people don't understand or what people need to understand is that true self-care, like true self-work, it's not always pretty. And it doesn't always feel good. And it's not always bathtubs and candles and all that stuff. Like a lot of the work it sucks until you start seeing that work like show up in your life. And then you're like, man, I am so happy I did that. Like, you know what I mean? And then I can be on spaces like this and totally feel this type of vibe and not be in my own head because I'm dealing with 1,001 things. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I understand. It is amazing. Like you preaching to the choir. You know what I'm talking about? Because like I get it. Like being a creative, you deal with so much. You know what I mean? And we're not just gonna make it a creative thing. It's a human thing.
It's a human thing. Yeah.
And you know, in our culture, we tend to sweep it under the rug. You know what I'm saying? Deal with it, move on, and you're dealing with so much stress, and it's hard for us to deal with it because we don't have outlets. So again, shouts out to you. Super dope.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. So with all that being said, how did you get your first start into music?
How did I get my first start into music? Well, my first start was with my partner. I would honestly say like that's kind of like when it started. I always had a love for music.
So you never used to rap in school or write poetry?
No. So we'll say this. So honestly, like as I was talking, I was like, okay, I know what he's saying now. Okay.
Yeah.
So my uncle, so I grew up in California. I'm originally from Pasadena, California.
Okay.
And my uncle was a concert promoter. He had a concert promotion business. It was like a family business. I was young. Like I had to have been like, I don't know. It's amazing what the mind remembers.
Yeah.
Especially when, you know what I'm saying? It's amazing. But I had to have been like, what, 7, 6, 7, 8, something like that.
Okay.
And so my uncle, I remember him taking me, like he would take me to his meetings, but his meetings were in Hollywood. And I just remember being just this little girl, like sitting in his big chair and twirling around in his office and this and that. And I don't know. Like, I don't know. And I tell my family this all the time. I'm like, maybe I was young, but I was still old enough for it to have an impact. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And you know, I was speaking to my uncle recently, like, yo, like I always thought that I started doing music when I met Dreams, but I think you were as a you know, I think you actually introduced just the idea of you can be a star.
You can do this, like for real.
Like, for real. You see what I'm saying? Like, just being in Hollywood and this, you know what I'm saying? And
absolutely.
And so I honestly think like that's when it started. I think just kind of seeing him move and seeing the family business and seeing how they were moving and living in California and just that whole vibe, just kind of started that vibe. But I always loved music. Like I grew up loving Bone Thugs. I grew up listening to Prince. Stuff that you don't even think. Like I was a Bone Thugs and Harmony.
You weren't the only one. You know what I'm saying?
You know, I love Bone Thugs. You from Chicago? I love the Brat.
Oh, come on, talk about it.
You know, I love Crisscross. I love all of it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like just growing up on them, people like them, you learn how to use your cadences and melody and just something different. It was different. Like even when they came out, they were just really different. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So by the time I met Dreams, I had already had a natural, like I knew how to flow. I just wasn't writing. I was writing poetry and all that other stuff. I was writing, but I wasn't writing songs like that. And so it wasn't until I met Dreams that he was like, yo, like you have a dope voice. It was like a movie. It was like a movie. He was like, you got a real dope voice. Like, have you ever thought of rapping? And I was like, I mean, I thought of rapping, but you know, I ain't trying to be like this type of rapper and this type of rapper. He's like, nah, like come to my dorm. After your class, come to my dorm. I'm gonna have something written for you. And then I came back and he had this song. I can't even remember how it goes, but it was called Swagger Chick. It was my first song called Swagger Chick. And it just took off from there. I performed it at NSU and everyone just knew me on campus, Swagger Chick.
That's dope. That's dope. Hey, shouts out to Dreams, man. He recognized a star. You know what I'm talking about? That's a fact. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Who inspires you to make music?
Honestly, I was thinking about this. Like, I don't think it's more so the artist that inspires me. I think it's the music that inspires me. Like the music they make that inspires me.
Okay.
You know, Michael Jackson, Janet Jackson. Like even when I'm thinking of like Michael Jackson, his videos inspire me. Then, you know, when you see the videos and you say, man, I want to do a video like that. You see him? Absolutely. You know, Janet Jackson, like the purity in her voice, how she's not like, how her voice is real pure and soft, but you know, she's coming out at a time where people are like big singer, they got big voices. So me, you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, well, I know I'm not like a Beyonce. Like I ain't trying to sing like that, but I know I got a voice, and I know I've been told like I got a good technique, you know, a certain sound and texture of my voice. So I'm like, okay, Janet got that voice. She's dope. They make her sound dope. So then I can do that. So it's like, you know, and then just listen to people like the Brat. She raps fast, so I can rap fast, you know. So just, I guess to answer your question, yeah, it is the artist, but it's kind of like what they've done with the music that inspires me. You know what I mean?
I can dig it.
So yeah, that question, I have a lot of artists that inspire me from a lot of different genres.
That's dope. Definitely. That's dope. And I can definitely hear, you know, the Janet and the Brad and the people that you have named. I can definitely hear the influence in your music. Not that you sound like them, but you know what I'm saying? You can tell of the vibe that you own from the people that you name. You know what I'm saying? That's super dope. How would you describe the music that you create?
I think my music I would describe my music as a feel. It's a feel. I even call it a wave. I call it a wave because it's cool. It flows. It's a vibe. You know what I mean? I think the dope thing about, or I think how I push to stand out is more so like how I structure my songs. So even if I'm rapping in a song or flowing in a song, I still structure my music like a singer. So I still have pre-hooks. I still have the hooks. I still like if I'm flowing, I'm like, you know, if I'm hearing a rap or if I'm doing something and I'm rapping, I'll still be like, we should add some harmonies under here. You know? Or we should add a pre-hook. So I think those types of elements, those are just things that I pick up from listening to all types of music and pop music and, you know, just different types of styles. So yeah, it's a feel, it's a wave, it's just something different. Like you don't know what I'm gonna do, but you're gonna trust that I'm still gonna be in my lane. It ain't gonna be too all over the place, but you can listen to a project and not know if I'm gonna flow or not know if I'm gonna have some melody or not know me sing or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But it still makes sense to me just staying in my space, in my lane.
Man, that's dope. You know what I mean? When you get in the stew and you doing your thing, you know what I mean? What's your creative process like? Because, you know, artists, we all got different ways, and some of them are weirder than others. You know what I mean? But when you get in the studio, what's your process?
See, I've had so many studio like experiences as far as like different types of studios that I'm just like, just play the music and just let me just do my thing. Like I don't really like I've been in in-house studios. Like I said, I've been in dorms, in the dorm room studios. I've been in someone's house. I've been in major studios. So at that point, my mindset is just like, let me make sure I know the song before I get to the studio. I think that's the process. I make sure I know the song.
Yeah.
I know what I want to do, because here's the thing. When you're in an in-house situation, and that's why I tell a lot of people, like when you can have that like major studios and stuff is great, but when you can have an in-house situation where you're not really feeling pressured about the money and the time, and you're just in there creating, those are some of the best times. Like those are the fun times where you can just create, when you can have those situations.
Talk about it.
You know, when you are paying for studio time, you're in a creative process, but you're also thinking about, I got to hurry up and get this done because this is money. You know, I got to get this done because I paid for 5 hours, 2 hours. You see what I'm saying? So with that being said, my mindset or my process is just like, let me make sure I have before I even get to the studio, let me make sure I know how I want this song to go. What am I going to do first? Am I going to do my hook first when I get in there? Am I going to do the first verse when I get in there? Just to make sure, like, I'm not booking a 5-hour session unless I'm coming out with at least 3 songs.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? I'm not booking a 5-hour studio session for one song. You see what I'm saying? So just organized. Yeah, I just make sure my stuff is organized. Now, if you know, when I do get to have that real, if I have like an LA vibe studio, whatever, I might have a candle or 2 up in there.
Okay, yeah. A little candle, a little glass of wine, you know what I'm talking about?
Glass of wine, you know, but at the end of the day, I'm just trying to get the music done. At the end of the day,
I hear you.
I'm just trying to get, I'm not really, as long as you know what you're doing as an engineer, and we good.
Yeah, that's dope. You already know, man, because having that in-house studio, you definitely gonna create something that you didn't even think. Yeah, it definitely is. And I'm a firm believer in, when you go to the studio, you go into the studio to record. We're not in the studio writing, and you know what I'm saying? That's cool, but we here to record. So yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
So my album, the Just For Now album, that was recorded in-house.
Dope.
So I think that's why it turned out the way it did, was because it was literally me and the producer. I had an idea. I had a concept before we went in there. I didn't really know. It wasn't even all the way planned. It was just like, I had this idea of a short project, like almost like a shot. Like it just hits, it's good, and that's it. Like not 5-10 songs, just something quick, something to the point, but something that's effective. And because I had this project that I was before the pandemic, I had this project that I was already planning to drop called Great Area.
Okay. And that's dope.
It's called Great Area.
Yeah, I like that.
And the pandemic hit, like the whole 2020. We'll just say 2020 hit. 2020 hit.
Yeah.
And you know, like for a lot of us, that it just kind of forced us to pivot. I just didn't feel like it was the right time. A lot of my friends were just like, yo, this project's so dope. Like, you can't just throw it out. So just wait. Yeah. So I waited. And then, you know, at the same time, I was like, I still have this creative that I need to feed. Like, I still need to do something. And so I had linked with this new producer. I was working on one of the songs for Great Area. And I was working with I was working on this with this one producer named Terrific. And I had a certain type of sound that I was going for. And he was like, yo, you know who would be great for this song? He was like, you know who could engineer this better than me right now? And he was like, who? I was like, who? He's like, this guy named Ed Wavy. And so he introduced me to this producer named Ed Wavy. I never worked with him. I heard his music. I knew he was dope, but we never worked. And that project, Just For Now, was the first project that him and I ever worked on together. It was like our first rapport of everything. And yeah, we literally put it together, and next thing you know, it turned out to be a wave. Like, I honestly, it's one of my best projects, I think, up to date.
Yeah. Because you was able to take your time to be free.
We were taking our time. We were free. We were having fun. We were feeling it. We were going through tracks. Like, that's the perk of an in-house situation. Definitely.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. With your sound, who do you hear yourself most likely collabing with?
With my sound, I can hear me with her, the artist Her.
I can
hear me doing something with her.
Yeah.
I can hear. Who can I hear? I can hear myself with her. I can hear myself.
I can hear you with Janae Aiko.
I can do a Janae Aiko. I think I can be that female artist when they're looking for like a flow or what, just something like a new way, just when they're looking for a vibe, but something that's going to be different from what they're going to bring on the track. Like, you know, Janae Aiko gets on the track, it's going to be melodic. And all that. And so I wouldn't get on the track and try to do exactly what she's doing, but I would still fit that vibe of what she's doing.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So Janae, all of them, Janae Aiko, Her, SZA, all of them. Like, I would have loved to do like a hook or something for Nipsey Hussle if he was still alive. I would have loved to do something. Like,
that's
so sad to me, man, because he was just.
It is. It was, man. And to be honest, that Victory Lap is one of the greatest albums in hip hop history.
No, seriously.
Like, and I'm not just saying that because Nip gone, but like, you could let Victory Lap play from front to back all the way through. That's a fact. So,
that album is. Yes, that album is a classic.
We on the same type of time.
We are definitely on that same page. When you listen to it, you're just like, man, like, and it's not even because he passed away or anything. Like this is really a classic album. Like, he really did that with his first album. Like, killed it.
Yeah, he got nominated for a Grammy with that album.
Yep.
Absolutely. Shout out to Nipsey Hussle. The marathon definitely continues. Rest in peace. So what we gonna do now? We gonna take a pause for the cause for our sponsors. Shout out to Networking Queen. Shout out DJ Domino, the official DJ for Address the Culture, and shout out to Big Gas Tour. And we gonna be right back to Address the Culture. You feel me?
Yes, sir.
I got that fire, Gucci, Fendi, counting up this motherfucking money and designer. If we stand around us, guaranteed that you can find it. Everybody running, holding up their lighters. I got that fire, Gucci, Fendi, counting up this motherfucking money and designer. If we stand around us, guaranteed that you can find it. Everybody rolling, holding up their lighters. I got that fire. Pour the drink in my double cup.
You already know what it is. It's your boy Big Waller. We back to Address the Culture with Nia Dinero in the building.
Yes, sir.
You already know the vibes. Now, around this time, I like to turn it up a notch. You know what I'm talking about? If you could share the stage with any artist, dead or alive, and you know the vibes I'm talking about. I'm talking about 80, 90,000, arena packed. You tell an engineer to bring the lights down in the building. You tell everybody to take their cell phones out and light up the building for me. You know, superstar chill bump shit. You know what I'm talking
about? Okay.
If you could do that with any artist, Nia Dinero, who you sharing the stage with?
Of course, I want to share with Beyonce. Of course, you know that crowd is about to be packed. Like, look, if Nikki can do it, I can do it. That's how
That's
I feel.
a fact.
So it's definitely gonna be Beyonce.
Okay.
I'll open up for the we on the run 3. We on the run 3.
All right.
So,
we gotta go around one more time. We gotta be on the run one more time. I need
be on the run one more time.
Yeah.
Like, give me my shot. Give me my shot. Let me expand my base right now.
Yeah. I'm with you, big dog shit.
Yeah, that'll be the best business move you can make is to get on something with Beyonce or Jay-Z.
Yeah, absolutely.
But of course, Beyonce.
Okay.
Who else? You know who I really like from a stage show and just the vibe. Once again, if Cardi can do it, I can do it.
Okay.
I want to do a feature with Bruno Mars.
Yeah. Bruno dope.
But Bruno is dope. Like,
he dope.
That's what I'm saying. He has that music to where he can honestly collab with anybody because his music is so he has so much versatility.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I would definitely want to do something hot with Bruno.
Yeah, I can see that. Well, we're gonna put them vibes out in the atmosphere. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
We're gonna make that happen. So when you do that, y'all come back on the Dress the Culture. We're gonna talk about it. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. No, for real. Look, we family now. So anytime I got something big, I'm coming to the base.
Oh, talk your shit. We locked in. What you said. I ain't finna argue when you making sense. You know what I'm talking about? We both know how the internet is, man. You know, it's smoke and mirrors. Some people say it's a gift and a curse. You know what I mean? But from your viewpoint, how do you feel the internet has impacted the music industry?
I think the internet, in good or bad ways. Good ways, it's definitely made it so the artist doesn't necessarily have to be signed to a label in order to make noise. It's made it so your music can be easily accessible. And you can do all that from the luxury of your home. But I think also the downside, I wouldn't really say it's bad, but the downside is, you have millions and millions of people that can now do the same thing that you do. You see what I'm saying? So now you have to be more creative in standing out and then also making money. You got to find new creative ways to make money. Whereas to the internet, you just automatically had an artist. You got them some endorsements, commercials, movies, this, tour, everything else.
It was a blueprint. It was a step.
You know what I'm saying? We don't really, you got to kind of like get that a la carte now. Like everything's a la carte. It ain't like it's just all it's just a part of your package. You see what I'm saying? So I would say that I would say it's more effort to stand out. It's more effort to be seen. Like you can be in a room full of vultures, you know what I'm saying? And you're the one that should be seen, but everyone's in there. Yeah. And, I would say that. And then also, I think the internet makes it so it's easy to lose focus of the music because there's so many things that can happen on the internet. There's beefs, there's memes, there's social media, there's pictures, there's just so many different things that can get in the way of, an opportunity for you to really be heard. So I'll say that.
Oh man, that's dope. I love your perspective on the fact that when you said that a lot of people can do what you can do. It kind of dilutes, water down the game. You know what I mean? Like it's so much of the same thing. It's hard to see the true talent. You know what I'm saying? I never thought about it from that perspective. That's dope.
Right.
That's dope. What was some of the best advice you've ever been given?
Actually, I have two. Could I give two?
Absolutely.
So the first one was, one of my old artist development coaches back like a couple years ago told me that when you make it, he said something like, it feels like everything's taking forever. Like it's taking so long for you to get there. But when you get there, it's going to feel like, man, like this happened. So like, almost like he almost said it like, it feels like it's taking forever. But once it happens, it's going to happen so fast. And you're going to look back on it like, man, like, you understand what I'm saying? Like you're in this position, wanting something to happen so fast that you're counting down the days. But then once it happens, you're going to almost want to slow that time down and go back to the beginning of when you had that time. You see what I'm saying? So, and I think that was just his way of saying, like, just accept it as a journey. Like, don't look at it as a destination, taking it as a journey. You know, because the more you look at it as a journey, the more you leave yourself open to all the possibilities of what could happen as you get to that goal. Because you might get to that goal, and this is what people don't talk about either. You might get to that goal. There's a lot of people who had this goal for a long time, and then and not just music, whatever, any goal, and then you finally get to that goal, and you realize it's not even what you wanted. Yeah, it's not even what you wanted. Or there's people that. There's this book called The Alchemist. I don't know if you've ever read it. You ever heard of it?
I've heard of it.
So it's really, really good because it talks about there's this boy. He comes from a family to where we're just looking at him. He's a dreamer, right? And he comes from a family who aren't dreamers, and they're very structured. And he has this vision to go and try to find this woman, this vision of this woman that he has in his mind. So he goes on this journey. His family's telling him, like, why are you doing this? Blah, 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 blah. He goes on this journey, but throughout his journey, he meets all these different people. He goes through all these twists and turns. He's going here, doing this. And then by the time he reaches the woman, he realizes that the journey was never even about the woman. It was about him finding his way in tapping into all these different spaces. And so after reading that, honestly, that's when I changed my whole perspective about this idea of the grind and everything. I used to say grind. And then I stopped saying that because when you do say grind even sounds like, the word grind even sounds like what it is. It sounds like very linear, very like tunnel vision. You can be on a grind and not have time to check on your mental health, emotional health. You can be on a grind and not make time for love or relationships or friendships or anything. You just focus on the grind. But when you say a journey just leaves more room for the possibilities of what could happen as you are in pursuit of getting a Grammy. You know, I can say, you know, I'm on this journey towards getting a Grammy and end up meeting so-and-so or you, and you're a producer or a director, you know, Steven Spielberg, and you're like, yo, you want to be in this movie? Like, am I not going to be in the movie all because my focus is to get a Grammy? You understand what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, I'm just trying to win. I'm trying to follow my heart and all that comes with that. So I would say it's a journey.
Hey, wait. Let's acknowledge that. That was fucking amazing. You know what I'm talking about? We just not gonna move past that. Like that wasn't a jewel. You know what I'm talking about? That was amazing. That was amazing because that's exactly what I built this platform for, because it's all about the journey. You know what I mean? It's so hard getting to where we want to get to. You know what I'm saying? You take 10 steps forward and you get knocked 20 back. You know what I mean? But it's all within that journey. It's all a process. You know what I'm saying? I was a person, and I am a person that always say it's about the grind, it's about the hustle. You just made me want to stop saying the grind. Because it's facts. You know, when you hear the word grind, it puts that weight on it. You know what I mean?
It does.
It does. But when you say I'm on my journey, you know what I mean? It just leaves it. It makes it easy breezy because I'm going to go where God leads me. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense.
And you mentioned this before. It's like, unfortunately, us as just in our community, I feel like grind, and I think that's another reason why I stopped saying it too, was because it's like Black people already have a lot of weight. You see what I'm saying? Like, we already got a lot of weight. Just top and this and that.
Just being Black.
And that's just being black, right?
Yeah,
so when it comes down to your dream, and when it comes down to your goal, or when it comes down to whatever, like you want that to have some air, some life, some movement, you know. And
absolutely.
So the whole grind is like, because I'm around people who grind, but I also see the characteristics of those who grind, of that mentality. You see what I'm saying? Those that are really engulfed in that mentality. Now, I'm not saying that that's you. I'm not saying to say that you grind like you're a certain type of person. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying when you kind of step back and kind of look at certain words that we use, you know, especially in the Black community, it kind of makes you want to, you know, like we deserve peace too.
Absolutely.
You know
Absolutely. That's a fact. Coming through dropping jewels and shit.
You know,
I hear you talk your shit. Now give me the second one. Give me the second one. What was the second?
Okay, and then the second one I heard was success isn't static. So success isn't static, meaning, and this is another one of, like, I lived through this too. Like for a long time, I used to feel like success was like you're trying to reach a finish line. Like you're trying to, like, success was the finish line, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're just doing all this stuff trying to get to the finish line. And then someone was like, nah, success isn't static, meaning it kind of pertains to what I just said. Like success is literally like if you're looking at a picture, it's the millions of pixels that make up the whole entire picture. You see what I'm saying? Like success is like pretty much saying, you know, it's I paid a bill. You know, I got my car back. It's I finished school. It's I got groceries, you know, when I didn't. It's I got my unemployment check when I didn't know what was going to happen. It's like all those pieces are still success. You see what I'm saying? And then all up in a year, and then you look back on it on New Year's or a year, and you be like, damn, like I really made it. Like I really made it
all that
here. And that's the big picture. You see what I'm saying? But a lot of us, we're so focused on getting to the new year that we don't even acknowledge like those other victories that we won. That's success is static.
Ooh, that's what the victories, man. Them small victories, man.
Small victories,
man. Talk about it. All right. So you just got a whole gold mine over here, just dropping jewels all over the goddamn place, huh? Okay, all right. Oh. I see what you all. If you could change something about the game, what would you change?
If I could change something about the game, I would change kind of like what we were talking about earlier. Like I would just change the way the powers that be kind of push the narrative of women in the industry competing, comparing each other, and all that. Because when you think about it, when it comes down to male artists, they just let male artists just come in. That's why you'll have a Big Sean and a Drake, and then you have a Maxwell, then you have a Joe, then you have all these different options when it comes down to male artists, because they just let male artists just come in. You see what I'm saying? But when it comes down to women, it's like there can only be one. It's like they come in, then because if you notice, even now, you'll have a hot artist, a hot female artist, she'll come out. You'll be like, oh man, like this is fresh, this is new. Okay, great. Then you don't even see them. But then you'll see them on Shade Room. You'll see a story about them on Shade Room, probably going back and forth with another female artist before you get like a second single or an album or a movie or something. And it's almost like, what's going on? Like either the powers that be or just are doing something or doing this, or they're getting distracted and just, I don't know. Or like you said, they're getting in relationships or something and something's throwing them off. I don't know. But that's what I would change. I would change the whole idea of there not being options for female artists. I feel like we need options as well. A lot of the interviews that I've done, one of the first questions they'll ask me is, you know, you're not like Cardi, and you're not like Megan Thee Stallion, and you're not like this. And so I have to come back like, look, I love all of them. I'm not trying to compare myself to them. I'm just another option. I'm just trying to be another option. Like you can listen to me, Cardi, Nikki, whoever, all of us in the same day, depending on what mood and vibe you're in. I'm not trying to come out. I'm not trying to compete. I'm not trying to do any of that. I'm trying to make money. I'm trying to, make people feel good, dance, whatever. Kind of like how Diddy came out. He's like, dance. Like, I just feel like I'm just trying to just be a breath of fresh air and just do something different at the end of the day.
That's super dope that your perspective is like that, because it's so many dope female artists out here where it can be so many different options. Where they sound different, they look different. You know what I'm saying? They represent different nationalities, so on and so forth. You know what I mean? Yeah. And they always seem to put the females together and make them in a box and put them in a box where it's so many. And to be honest, the females spin harder than the guys these days, man. Like, the females barking. Like, I'm not even finna hold you. That's where the bar's at. Because the male rappers, they more melodic. They on sounds and, auto-tune, and which is dope. Don't get it twisted. But the females spit. That's where the bar's at.
And it's crazy because the way the game kind of, like I said, the way they try to pull us apart, you almost can't even imagine there being, remember like Ladies Night? Remember back in the day when you had that Ladies Night? You had the Brad, Left Eye, Missy, like you had them all on one song. That will forever be one of my favorite videos, my favorite concepts, because that was at a time where it was like, you had the hottest female artists all on one track. So if they the Brad, everyone. So it's like, that's what I would want to do. As me as Nia Dinero, I would want to be that type of female artist that can pull something like that off
to make that happen.
Like, that's get dope. The hottest artists and put us all on the same track and do something dope like that. Shoot a dope ass video. I'm sorry, dope video. I don't know if you can cuss.
No, you good. You can cuss. We can adjust the culture. You know what I'm talking about? That's dope. You know what I'm saying? The fact that your mind is on that, you know what I'm saying? And that's what somebody need. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure. That's what the game needs. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure there's been some MCs that have tried to make that happen, but it seems to never work. But it's just gonna take somebody that can put the females together, and really it'll be a monster, because they dope. Like, the game's still wide open for dope MCs. You know what I mean? On the female side, that's dope.
We're on the same page.
Yeah, absolutely. We're in the same book. You know what I'm talking about? If you could go back and give younger you some advice, what would you tell yourself?
Your questions are amazing, by the way. Like, this is a great interview.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem. My younger self, I would say trust yourself. I would say believe in yourself and trust yourself. Because especially as a female artist, starting off in a group, but with a male partner, it being a male dominated industry. And I think me starting off with a male kind of in a way, in the type of person that he was too, he was very hands-on. I think that kind of put me in a space of kind of relying, that makes any sense? Like, relying on him a lot.
Absolutely. Having that safety net.
A safety net, and then you get out of a situation with that guy, then you go and meet your producer, and then he's a guy, then you meet another songwriter, then he's a guy, then because it's male dominated. And so I did find myself in spaces, sometimes just kind of questioning, can I really do this by myself? Questioning, can I really write this by myself? Questioning, can I think of this idea and this concept by myself? So I had to figure all that. I had to build my confidence up through time. You see what I'm saying? So I would just say, I would tell myself to just trust yourself and believe in yourself, because you're going to find yourself in a space, especially as a female artist. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You have all these male artists, stuff like that, but at the end of the day, they would never understand what it's like to be a woman in this industry.
Not at all.
In this industry, I'm a woman in this industry. It's totally different for me.
Absolutely.
Totally different experience. it takes a totally different mindset and everything. You see what I'm saying? And so for me to be the type of person that I am, if I wasn't going to turn into someone that I'm not, I had to learn real quick. I almost had to put myself through like a crunch time test, you know, to just get myself to start believing in myself. Whereas if I would have started off knowing that, I would have, you know what I'm saying? Like, you see where I'm going?
I definitely get it, because in this game, you gotta trust yourself. You gotta have confidence. You gotta know who you are and what you are, even down to the music. You gotta have tough skin, and it starts within you. Yeah, you got to. That's a fact.
That's the thing. That's what I would say. I would say have tough skin. I think the biggest thing for me would you know, that was hard for me was the idea of tough skin, but not being. And this is another thing they don't talk about when it comes down to women in the game. It's like there's like a line between having tough skin to move in the industry, but not being a tough woman. That makes any sense. Not being hard, if that makes any sense. It's like as women, you gotta think about all that stuff. Like how do I have tough skin, but still a woman, but still not come across like I'm a bitch, and still not come across like I'm too opinionated and too this and too that,
too friendly, too flirty. Like it's a balance. It's
a balance, but at the same time, but then at the same time, it's like now it's crazy because all that stuff made sense when we were dealing with the old industry, like the before social media, before the internet, before indie artists, whatever. But now all that stuff's out there. This is just how I feel. All that crap's out the window. Like there's no blueprint anymore. Like you see what I'm saying? Like you can't tell me that I can't go on it. Like I can't conduct my own interview, put together my own interview, and then go on there and speak the way I need to speak. Back in the day, you had people telling you how to speak and artist development and do this at this interview and say this and say that. Now I feel like this is the time to be 100% who you are, because this is where we just have an open platform now. Now we can attract. The goal is to attract who you need to attract. We're not just going, dropping everything, trying to go and run in New York to try to get signed by a major label anymore. You see what I'm saying? Like now it's all about, okay, let me just look and see if there's some new artists out there. Oh, let me see this girl near Dinero and just see her in her natural zone on a natural platform, just being her. And then I can say, you know what, I want to sign her. You see what I'm saying? That's how it is now. That's how it is. So.
Absolutely. I'm with you. I understand. And I think with that type of mentality, the culture will get better. And these kind of conversations and you being so transparent about your situations and what you've been through is super dope for the culture, and I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Would you believe though? Would you believe? Actually, not too long ago, I actually had someone tell me that I needed to water down my sound. They told me that my style, like I finish all of my sentences. I need to be more like, I am not even joking. Like
he just slicing you up, huh?
Slicing me up. I'm articulate. I sound like I'm a motivational speaker. I sound like just pretty much everything that makes me without me thinking about it, you know, naturally, you know, it's pretty much like, you need to be hip hop type vibe, but it's like, what is that? You see what I'm saying?
What is that? And I'm gonna take it a step further. Whoever that person is, don't listen to nothing that they say. If I'm meeting you and I'm talking to you, and everything that he said was a negative, I look at as a positive. The fact that you are willing to be transparent, the fact that you are speaking with such conviction and that you mean what you say and you talk like you know what you're talking about. You know what I mean? All of those things make you near Dinero. You know what I mean? That's what separates you from other MCs. This is that variety that we were talking about, those options that we were talking about. No problem, no disrespect for those who talk like that and want to be like that, because that's who they are. Right. You know what I mean? So they're not putting up no facade neither, because that's who they are. Right. But this is who you are as well. And you can't tell me, being me, I can't be successful being me. That's bullshit. So shouts out to you. Shouts out to you for knowing what to listen to and what not to listen to, because sometimes if somebody's hating, they do give you some jewels. And you be like, you know what? Okay, I know you a hater, but that part, okay, I can, you know. So knowing when to listen and when not to listen is very important. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so shouts out to you. That's bullshit.
Well,
you know
thank
what I mean?
you. Well, thank you. And thank you for that. Because, you know, sometimes it is hard. Because, you know, there's politics of the game. So you're trying to figure out who to listen to, who to kind of like, okay, you know, there's a lot of give and take in this and whatever. But then you also know what things you're just not going to just budge on, because it totally take you out of you being you. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Definitely appreciate that. Definitely.
Yeah, no problem. We locked in. I got you. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So with all that being said, what would you like to say to your supporters? All the people that's been in your corner, the A1s, the day ones, even before you started your group, you know, always been in your corner. What you want to say to them?
I would just want to say that, like, I don't take any one that I've met, any person, like you said, whether you were a hater, I wouldn't take any of them. I don't take any of them for granted. Like, nobody, you know. I'm thankful for every person, every supporter, every person that I met along my journey thus far. You know, like we said, as a journey, like, it's continuing, it's in motion as we speak. So I'm just grateful. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for just everyone that I'm meeting along my journey to my goals, to what I'm trying to do. So yeah. So definitely continue to support.
Absolutely. That's dope. And I appreciate you as well. You know what I mean? So what we gonna do, we gonna do this for them. You know what I mean? We're gonna do something I call rapid fire. We doing it for the culture. I'm gonna ask you some questions to give your supporters a little bit more insight on who you are as a person. You down?
Okay. I'm down. Let's go.
All right, let's get it. The first thing I do or think when I wake up in the morning is?
Pray.
Okay. Hot or cold?
Cold.
Favorite restaurant?
Uncle Julio's.
Okay. Chicken, steak, or fish?
Chicken.
Okay.
Chicken.
Okay. Favorite pair of shoes of all time?
Favorite pair of shoes? Combat boots.
Okay.
All purpose. They're all purpose.
All right. Yeah. I went there. I was just gonna leave that alone. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Favorite drink?
Favorite drink? Smoothies.
Fruit
Favorite
smoothies. Sports team? Okay. Fruit smoothies. Okay. Favorite sports team?
My family's from Pittsburgh, so I'm a Steelers fan.
All right. Shouts out to the Steelers. Weekends or weekdays?
Weekends.
Okay. How many times a day do you think about sex?
28 hours a day. No.
You gotta relax. You gotta relax over there. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying?
Do I think about sex? It depends if I got a lot on my mind. If I got a lot on my plate, probably not a lot. It depends. You say that. That's my answer.
It's a mood. It's a vibe. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I can dig it. If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
To transport.
Get out the jam, huh? In and out of there.
Yeah, to transport.
Time to go.
Exactly. Vacation, time to go. I would say transport.
Yeah. I can dig it. Okay. I'm gonna start the sentence and I want you to finish it for me, okay?
Okay.
My name is Dinero, and I am a
artist.
Okay, all right. Talk your shit. You know what I mean? What's next for you, Miss Dinero? What you got going? Tell us what you got going. What's coming out? Talk your shit.
So, man, a lot. I'm working on a visual album.
Okay.
So that in itself, we're in the process of working on that now, putting that together, the cast, everything. So I'm excited about that. And we're pretty much going to be relaunching just for now, but we're going to do a deluxe album. We're going to add a couple more tracks to it. Some of those tracks, I linked with some major producers on there. You're going to know who they are. I'm excited. I'm going to actually give you the exclusive. I'm going to send those over to you.
I like that. Let's go.
But yeah, to relaunch that, the deluxe album, the visual album, just new visuals. I think this is just going to be, not even I think, like this summer it's just all going to be visuals, just visibility. I think like I've been doing it since 2012.
Yeah.
And I've done a lot of work. Like I've been visible, but I've done a lot of work behind the scenes. Yeah. And so I just told myself, like, now I have management. I'm under management. I also have a distribution deal under Sony Music. And these are all new. Like this all happened like top of the year. So yeah. So now it's just about visibility. I like allowing people to see, like, yo, I am here. I've been here. Yeah. I go by Dinero. Like I'm another option. Hey, take me seriously. Boom. You know, so more interviews, more opportunities like this. I'm going to get in some acting this year. Yeah, I have my degree in mass communications and just media overall. And I also did theater in college. And acting has just always been a passion of mine. Like I love acting, you know, but music has always just been my main vehicle. So yeah. Once I get some free time, I definitely want to get in some short films, major films, go on some auditions, get an acting coach, do all that stuff. So, you know, anyone in Chicago, let me know. You know,
I got you.
Let me know.
I got you.
But yeah. So just more Dinero.
More Dinero. Yes, Dinero. I'm with you, man. I could definitely see you doing some acting and doing other things beyond music, because you got it. You know what I mean? You definitely got it. And it's about that journey. We're not putting ourselves in no boxes.
We're not putting ourselves in a box.
Yeah.
You know, so not a lot of people know this, but this is something I really, really, really want to do. I want to do voiceovers for animation.
That's dope.
Like, you know, you watch these animations and that's big, and you hear these voices, like Rihanna's done it before. It's like, I've always just been told to have a really good voice for that.
Absolutely.
So I'm like, why not?
Absolutely. That's dope. I actually have a friend that does that. You know what I mean?
Really?
So yeah, absolutely. So yeah, and that's what I was saying, like, back to that comment that was told to you, you know what I'm saying, as far as your voice and how you carry yourself. All of those are gifts God gave you to utilize in many different ways. You don't change yourself. You elevate those gifts. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. Shouts out to you.
So much.
You know what I mean? Absolutely. So what you want us to leave them with? What you want us to play at the end of this to let them know what type of time you on? Talk your shit.
Listen, I'll play birthday. Play my latest single, Birthday.
Yeah, it's somebody's birthday today. You know what I'm talking about?
It's somebody's birthday. I wrote this song for everyone that's just in that vibe. It's birthday every day. It's an energy wave.
Yeah.
And let's get it. 2021, 2020 put us through a lot. So 2021, we just coming in with just that energy to just, you know, stronger, better. You know what I'm saying? Like, not saying things are going to be perfect, but we now know that we can handle, handle the worst. So, so I put Birthday out, you know, just to kind of add to just the new wave, just the new beginnings, you know, just good energy, something you don't really got to think about. It just feels good.
It just feels good.
It just feels good. Sometimes you don't want to think. You don't want to have to. You just want to vibe, you know? So here we go.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Well, look, that's what we're going to leave them with. You know what I mean? I want to thank you for coming through Address the Culture. I love your energy. I love your spirit. We definitely going to have to do this again. Anytime you got anything coming out, anything, you know what I mean? We're going to come through. We're going to talk about it. We're going to make it a movie. Consider this your home away from home.
Definitely.
I definitely appreciate you coming through. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. This is a great, amazing platform. Keep doing what you're doing. We need you. We need this. And I'm excited. Definitely.
Thank you. I appreciate you. This is your boy, Big Wall, and this is Address the Culture. And like I always say, your culture makes you who you are, so make sure they respect it. We're going to catch you on the next interview. We out of here.
Walk in feeling like a millie, goat like Billy, flow so illy. Chopping with my lawyer cause I'm about to sign a dilly. Chasing waterfalls behind trying to get chilly. Owning all my masters, I don't need a master. Bachelor's in science, now I'm trying to get my masters. Looking for a king, someone I can do the dash with. I might call him daddy, I ain't trying to be a bastard. I love this rap shit but it's hard to trust niggas. Whole lot of broke acting like they made niggas. Whole lot of curtains don't match a drape. Niggas all trying to make sense, I'm just trying to make figures. Haters talking down, yeah, I hear the whispers. Finally up now, so I can't move risky. Sounding like they dissing, yeah, whole lot of hissing. Before the Rona, I was good at keeping distance. February 3rd, I was in California, going to meetings with my uncle up in Hollywood. A young girl, seeing him get it, and they all can notice. Then I got older, seeds were planted down, hand with water good. Money motivated, but you knew that shit already. Just got my advance, yeah, I blew that shit already. I just made it back off an asset. Flip the money like a dirty mattress. Give me lit, feel like it's my birthday. Brand new fit, feel like it's my birthday. New bag, got me running out of purse space. Cake, feel like it's my birthday. Give me lit, feel like it's my birthday. Brand new fit, feel like it's my birthday. New bag, got me running out of purse space. Cake, feel like it's my birthday. Celebrating life, better book me now before I elevate the price. Controlling all my moves, I'm the one rolling the dice. Feel like I'm on cloud 9, having one hell of a night. Gang on the party bus, haters trying to model us. They don't like the way we move, we don't let that bother us. Paperwork straight, case the state, try to audit us. Yeah, I feel great, but my bank feeling marvelous. I don't need ID, tell her already know me. LLC, got a company I'm molding. Higher day ones, told them that they don't owe me. Couldn't do a couple favors, now they act like they don't know me, but it's all good. He tryna know my sign and my zodiac, and I don't want a feature, even though he rap. I want the icing on the cake on the first day. Cake, get me lit, it's my birthday. Money motivated, but you knew that shit already. Just got my advance, yeah, I blew that shit already. I just made it back off an asset. Flip the money like a dirty mattress. Give me lit, feel like it's my birthday. Brand new fit, feel like it's my birthday. New bag, got me running out of purse space. Cake, feel like it's my birthday. Give me lit, feel like it's my birthday. Brand new fit, feel like it's my birthday. New bag, got me running out of purse space. Cake, feel like it's my birthday.
We about to dress the culture. Yeah, we about to dress the culture, huh? We about